Welcome to my new series called Why This Phish Song Slaps. And it's basically me talking about Phish songs that I like and why I think they're so good from like a musical perspective. And so lately I've been really listening to the Clifford Ball album from 1996. It's a really good concert. It was over a number of days. There's just a lot of sets. I don't know if it's over a number of days. There's just so many CDs. It had to be, it's 7 hours and 30 minutes. So I assume that wasn't one day, but you can correct me. I don't feel like doing the research right now. I feel like it was a few days, but it was 96. Who knows? I was a kid, very small kid. Okay, so I'm going to just like play parts of songs that I like and tell you why I like them. And I'll pause like for each part. So like we're just going to start with Chalkdust Torture because it's number 1 on this playlist. I made us go in order of this album. All right, a lot of applause. Okay, so you have that first, the guitar riff comes in, and then the drums come in, and then Paige does the glissando, and then you get this big sound right here. And that's just an amazing way to start a song. It's crazy. So then we're also going to look at lyrics and stuff. So what I really like about Chalkdust Torture, I'll like talk about the melodic elements and stuff like that. But I like how we get this whole, let's just keep playing.
Stumble my birth beating worker. I'm just the family berserker.
I love how worker rhymes with berserker, and I like that they use the word berserker because you hear of like berserk, but berserker is like, what is that? I love it. It's like too berserk.
Price of a flagon of rice. The wind busts the cabin. You speak of your life. No more will any locust live.
What I like about this is that Trey, or whoever wrote this, adds in, I think it was Trey, and I think he wrote it, well, I don't know, you can correct me, but I like how he adds in an extra stanza than you got in the first one. Right? And then the next one repeats the win, the speak and the life. It adds in like an extra melody that we didn't have in the first rhyme. I think it's interesting. I also love the little interludes in between. Paige is doing his little like piano seconds, little dissonance.
Confuse what you can of the ending and revise or despise so a penny. Cause I soak on the rap that you didn't quite mask. I'm getting it clearly through alternate paths, so mixed in with the signal you're sending.
See? Na 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 da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, then we're going to get into a really good chorus, okay, compared to what we just saw there.
But who can unlearn all the facts that I've learned? I sat in the chairs and my synapses burned. The torture of chalkdust collects on my tongue. Thoughts follow my vision and dance in the sun. All my masochistic just they come slowly undone. Did this wait till I'm old? Can I live bottom? Can I live bottom?
Okay, the melody. Da 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 da. 5 times. Da 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 da. Can I live while I'm young? Right? It's so good because you're getting the same thing. Now the melody is staying the same, and the chords are shifting under it. So who can na 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 changes the chord. So that's a cool way to do a melody, because the melody kind of just works under the chord changes versus like changing the melody based on the chord. And then you get that big, can I live while I'm young, you know? Which is built up to it because of everything that came before it. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just like one like phrase different than you would expect because it's like 5 instead of 4. And Paige had a really cool piano part just there.
But no peace for Jasmine tonight. I plugged the distress tube up tight. What I say as it flutters away to where all this emotion is kept harmless and paid, not to educate somebody's right.
Again, it's not what you expect of a melody that has like a pattern, right? You expect that it's going to follow it again. Instead, they add in that extra stanza every time, and it makes it slightly unbalanced. But that's why it's different, and it's so interesting to listen to.
But who can unlearn all the facts that I've learned? I sat in the chairs and my synapses burned. The torture of chalkdust collects on my tongue. Thoughts follow my vision and dance in the sun. All my masochistic as they come slowly undone. Get this way till I'm old. Can I live up? Can I live up? Can I live up?
I love this guitar solo, by the way. So Paige's piano is getting a little more complicated here. He's like mixing up the rhythms a little bit, and they're becoming slightly compound. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like it's a little bit it's against what was happening earlier. You can hear them getting a little bit like off beat, I guess you could say. I'm trying to use like more colloquial terms here. Also, that guitar trill. Trills when it's like between 2 notes really fast like that. Okay. Paige's part is so important in this. It's so easy to just hear Trey because Trey is just shredding like crazy right now. And Mike's keeping a very consistent, funky bass that's really also adding an extra level of percussion, believe it or not. He's just all over it. So it adds that funk element that I really put Phish in the box of funk most of the time, which is why I love them so much. Obviously, the Fishman stuff is just like a whole nother level that you have to really, for me at least, I have to focus on the drums to hear them better. I can hear the piano pretty well because I play piano, but the guitar, because it's the highest voice, it's the highest pitch of the instruments, it sticks out a lot. So sometimes you have to not listen to Trey and you have to listen to Paige, or maybe you have to listen to Fishman, or maybe you have to listen to Mike. Oh yeah, and like right now that bass has like a crazy effect on it that makes it sound even more funky. You can hear it. It's a kind of distortion, like a funk distortion. Paige is doing some chromatic-y thing. Adding up with his, he's going up slowly with more dissonance. Meaning, like, look, I have a little diagram today of a little keyboard because I was teaching remotely. Little keyboard, okay? So a traditional chord can be played a few ways, but generally chords have, like, if it's like a major chord, you're going to get, like, a spacing like this with, like, notes skipped in between. But you might also move these around in a different inversion like this, and you're going to still get, like, a very normal chord. Paige adds in a ton of seconds and sevenths, which is the inverse of a second, and there's also a lot of add fours, add twos, which I was talking about, add two, and just some added pitches into the chords, which then make them it adds more dissonance. And then I'm pretty sure he's often toying with chromaticism by even just using the two hands kind of slightly off sync to where they're kind of ascending chromatically at slightly different times, which then creates more tension in the sound when he wants to get a big build. And this guitar sliding up. Okay, Mike's bass is going insane right here. Obviously, Trey is doing, but if you listen to how fast Mike's bass is going, it's like all over the place. Okay, so complex. It all comes down. And the fact that it just jumped right into the chorus here, I always love this part.
Learn all the facts that I've learned. I sat in their chairs and my synapses burned. Torture of chalkdust collects on my tongue.
Yeah, I see in this part, Paige is not playing dissonant. He's playing very jazzy, pretty jazzy stuff.
Follow my vision and dance in the sun. All my best acoustics they come slowly undone. If it's wait till I'm old, can I live while I am? Can I live while I am? Can I live while I am? Can I live while I am?
Okay, that ending's great. And so what's happening is Trey's coming up the scale, da 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 da, modulating up. Mike's also modulating up, slightly at a different timing, and to create a tight, slight tension because he's not doing the exact same chords or notes as Trey. He's slightly delayed and off. Look.
Can I live while I am?
They went in a canon. Paige started right after Trey. Da 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 da. Paige started on the earlier harmony. Da 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 da. While Trey's already adding that. Here comes Mike. Da, he's hitting that note against the da 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 da. It's like not even da 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 da. That's tension. That's not even the right chord. That's like a tritone, I think. Yeah, that's crazy, and that's why it's so good. Anyway, and that's why Chalkdust Torture slaps. So like Mike's kind of like dun 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 dun, but he's going off, or they're going da 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 da. Paige came in slightly lower than Trey. So Trey goes da 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 da. Paige comes in here da 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 dun 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 dun. Ending. Okay, so that's why Chalkdust Torture slaps. It's just like so good. The energy's high. The melodic like I love how the melody is just so different than what I would expect from a traditional song. There's just like a slightly different, the fact that the melody does that extra, the va na 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 da 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 da. Because these are like what's called a parallel question and answer. It's in a lot of music. It's like you ask a question in a melody and then you answer it. So it's like dun 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 na 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 for a fly on a rice and na 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 and ask another question and na 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 and na dun dun dun. Right, it's different than that opening phrase and the exposition. It's very different. So I love that because I just think it's like a little different and like it just interests me. It makes my ears like very happy. So, and also this is just such a fun upbeat song to dance to. And then forget about the fact that I haven't even like talked about how it elicits so much emotion. Can I live while I'm young? I feel like we relate a lot to that. And yes, there's this idea that like you were in school, and I think he wrote this when he was in school young, and he's like, why am I in class? I just want to be outside and I don't want to do all this. Can't I live while I'm young? And I relate to that. But I relate to it every day. It's like as adults, you're like, okay, I'm working. I have to like, I can't just have fun. And then the next thing you know, you're old, you know, and then you can't do anything. So it's like, I totally get this. So that's why when I'm singing and dancing to this song, and I've heard it a few times in live shows, I'm just so happy because it also represents just me going to a Phish show in the first place, that I'm just trying to be young, even though I'm like very entering or have entered middle age, however we define that. And it's like, just because, you know, we're getting older doesn't mean we have to just give up on life and give up on fun. And so, like, to me, that's what Chalkdust Torture means for me. And I just love that. But I do love that Jesem on the Family Berserker. It's just like a very iconic line. I just like it. It's just so unique. Because it's so unique, it's so memorable. And every time I see that quoted in like some Phish person's like profile, like the Family Berserker, I'm just like, that is so good. It's so iconic, right? So anyway, that's why I hope you like this episode of why that Phish song slaps. I'm going to go through like all the songs that I like and like explain musically and like personally why they slap. So if you like this series, follow it. And hopefully this will be fun and you guys can comment on why you like it. I would love that. Let me know why you think it's great. And if I've missed little musical intricacies, let me know. I'm just listening to it and trying to just do it now, and my ear's okay, you know, but maybe you know things that I don't know. There's people with like superpowers, you know, savants that can hear a lot of polyphony. I have to kind of focus on certain lines sometimes, but I can hear them, but it's hard for me to hear all the lines at once, meaning I can't hear Paige, Mike, Trey, and Fishman. Like, I can't see what they're all doing consecutively, but when I listen to one as I'm listening to it, I can really hear what Paige is doing. I just have to kind of switch between them as I go. All right, bye.